Hello everyone, welcome again to Python All Day. Welcome again to Python All Day, and be sure to subscribe and like like the video, because my job here is not only to teach but to entertain so the world can be happy. And that's my job: teach and entertain. And today we are going to talk about dictionaries. We're going to talk about dictionaries because dictionaries in Python are very powerful and they're also very beautiful. And the theme of today is potatoes, because I can't understand why we cannot eat potatoes anymore. We are not allowed to eat potatoes anymore. We can't buy them. And that's one thing that I cannot understand, why we are not able to eat potatoes when they are very beautiful and they probably prefer to be eaten. So I just don't know why we are not allowed to eat potatoes anymore, because we should be allowed to eat potatoes because we love potatoes. In any case, dictionaries in Python. In Python, a dictionary is an unordered, mutable collection of items. In Python, a dictionary is an unordered, meaning that there's no order, it's not ordered, it's unordered collection of items. And a dictionary in Python is mutable, meaning that you can change the contents of a dictionary after you have created the dictionary. That's what we mean by mutable. And each item in a dictionary is a key value pair. That's a very important concept to understand. In Python, we have a key with a corresponding value, a key with a corresponding value, a key with a corresponding value, a key with a corresponding value. The key should be unique within the dictionary. The key should be a unique identifier within the dictionary, which maps to a specific value. So a key should be a unique identifier which maps to a specific value. And the way we create dictionary in Python is actually two ways of creating a dictionary in Python. Number one is using the curly braces, and number two is using the dict, D-I-C-T, dict, the dict function, using the dict function. We can see, maybe if I create my dictionary here, I'm gonna call it my dict, like that. And I can create this by using the curly braces like that. And this is a dictionary. It's a beautiful dictionary. It's empty, but nonetheless, it's a dictionary, and it's actually a beautiful dictionary. So it's an empty dictionary. If you want to put items in a dictionary, the way you do it, again, remember, in dictionaries, key value pairs. We can have a key, and the key here can be like name. We want to have a name of a person, and we separate the key value pairs with a colon like that. And the value can be a name of a person like John. So that's a dictionary with one item. The item is a key value pair. Name is the key, and John is the value. And we separate the key value pair with a colon. And now, if I want to add another item in this dictionary, I use a comma. We separate the items in the dictionary with a comma, and I can have age age of John, and I can use again colon to separate the key value. Key value we separate with a colon, and I can say the age is 25, like that. And then I use a comma like that to separate the items in a dictionary. And then I can say something like maybe whether John is married or not. I can use married, and I separate that key with the value, maybe say false. He's not married, he's young to be married. And there we go. And now we have 3 items in our dictionary, my dict. We have the key name with the value John. We separate that with a colon. Then we separate that item with a comma. Then we have the age, 25, married, false. So that's a key value. That's another key value. And that's another key value. Remember, we separate the key and the value with a colon, and we separate each item, each key value item in a dictionary with a comma. So that's a dictionary, and that's how we can create a dictionary. That's how we can create a dictionary in Python. That's one way. Another way, as I said, is to use the dict function. Remember, it's a function. So I can come here, I can say my dict, and I can say my dict, and I call this my dict2 maybe, and I can say it's assigned to, and I use the dict function. Remember, it's a function, so we have to use opening and closing parentheses. And when we use the dict function for the key, we do not use quotes. Like for instance, we can say name, and we don't use colons to separate the key value. We use the assignment operator, is assigned to. Then we can say Alice, for instance. Because this is a string, we have to use quotes like that. And we separate these items with a comma as well. Then we can say age, and age we can assign this to. We can assign this to, say, what age? Maybe 34. And we can say married, and assign this to. Let's say we can assign this, she's married or not married. We can say true. Let's say true, she's married. And we can also say occupation. Oops. We can say comma occupation. Occupation, and assign this to she's a nurse, like that. Oops, we have to quote this, nurse. So there we are. We have 2 dictionaries. We have created them. We have created the first dictionary using the curly braces, and we have created the second dictionary using the dict function. You can see it's different the way we create them. The first one, we have to use the colon to separate the key value. The second one, using the dict function, we have the name, and we use the assignment operator to separate, assignment operator to denote the key value, pairs. And now if I come here and I say print, I print my dict, and I also come here and I print my dict2. And if I click on run, I have my 2 dictionaries here already created. The first one, as we see, this one here, the one here, it's there. And then the second one, we have the second one with Alice, and we have created the second one using the dict function. So that's how you can be able to create dictionaries in Python. Personally, I prefer the first option here, and I like to use the curly braces to create a dictionary because it's just a little bit easier. and it's also a little bit more intuitive, and that's my preference. Anybody can have their own preferences, and I prefer the first one. I would obviously understand when people prefer the second one, because again it's a function, and you have the parameters here and the values. These are, you have the name, you assign it, you have the age, you assign it, and all that. I can understand that, but my preference is the first one. And since I am the teacher, I think I'll go with the first one like that, and I'll take this out. But that's how you create dictionaries in Python. You can create using the curly braces, and you can also create a dictionary in Python using the dict function, using the dict function. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk about dictionaries is how we can be able to access values. These are the values. John is a value, 25 is a value, and false is a value. How we can be able to access values in a dictionary. And the way you access values in a dictionary is we can use the get method. You can access the values in a dictionary by using the corresponding keys inside brackets or with the get method. So we can either use the keys inside brackets, or we can inside square brackets, or we can use the get method, and I will show you both. Ways. Like for instance, here I can come and say print my dict and use square brackets here and provide the corresponding key. And in my case here, the corresponding key is name. So if I say print my dict and I provide the corresponding key name inside square brackets, I should be able to print John when I click on run, and there we have it. We're able to click John like that. So we have been able to access an item in a dictionary using the square brackets with the corresponding key. Remember, these are the keys. Name is a key, age is a key, and married is a key. So for instance, if I want to access the corresponding value of married, I can put married here, and if I click on run, I get false like that. So that's how you can be able to access items in a dictionary by using the corresponding key in square brackets like that. You can also use the get function to access values from a dictionary. You can use the get function to access items in a dictionary. For instance, I can come and say my dict.get, and then I provide the corresponding key inside the parentheses, because this is a function. Functions normally have parentheses, and I provide the corresponding key like name like that. And if I click on run, then we have John. So I've used the get function to access items, to access an item or a value from the dictionary by providing the corresponding key. So you provide the corresponding key, and then you access the value using the get function. So that's how you can be able to access values. These are the values: John, 25, and false. To access values from a dictionary. That's how you can be able to do that. Then another thing is how do you add and update items in a dictionary? how can you add and update items in a dictionary? And to add an item to a dictionary, you can be able to provide uh, the key and the value. Remember, dictionaries, key, value. So we can say my job, my list, sorry, my dict. Why am I saying my, okay. So my dict, and then I can provide the key, and I use square brackets like that. And inside the square brackets, I provide the key. I can say job. I want to give John a job, and we can say John is a farmer. So we just assign this to farmer, and we also provide this. We also provide this like that, farmer. So now if I come here and I print my dict, we will have added the job for John in the dictionary. You can see here we have the job for John as a farmer. So my dictionary now has the job key with the value farmer, That's how you can be able to add items in a dictionary. I can also add some more. I can say my dict here. And again, remember, we use square brackets like that. And I can also add salary. And I can say the salary for John is $75,000. $75,000 like that. And if I click on my dict now, John is also going to have a salary. As you can see here, we have my dict. John now has a salary, as a key of salary with a value of 75 or 75,000. And that's how you can be able to add items. You can be able to add items to a dictionary. Remember, you provide the name of the dictionary, use square brackets, and inside the square brackets, you put the key, and then use the assignment operator to enter the value. And that corresponds to key value pairs. Remember, key value pairs. And that's how you can be able to add items to a dictionary. And then I also wanted to show you how you can be able to update items in a dictionary. Update an item in a dictionary. Suppose in this dictionary we want to change the age from 25 to 26 because it turned 26. John turned 26. John turned 26 today. Today is when John turned 26, and we want to update his age from 25 to 26 because he had a very beautiful birthday. And the way you update it is you come here and you use my dict, the name of the dictionary, then you use the square brackets, and then you enter the key. We are updating the key, remember, age, and now we assign this to 26. Happy birthday, John, 26. And once we do that, now when we click on run, John here is age. Age has now been updated. Has now been updated to 26. And because John turned 26, he also decided to get married. And now we have to update that to make sure that John is displayed as married. Married is false here. Now we have to say that John got married on his 26th on his 26th birthday. So we come here, we say my date, and then what we are updating is the key. We use square brackets like that, and we updated the key married. And this time, John got married, so we are gonna write true. We're gonna write true, and lo and behold, John is married. And if we click on run here now, we have John now is married to be true. To be true. We have just updated the married, the married, the married item in the dictionary from false to true, and that's how we can be able to update. That's how we can be able to update dictionary items. Remember, in the dictionary, an item is a key value pair, and that's how we can be able to update items in a dictionary, and this is how we can be able to add an item in a dictionary. I personally think that it's pretty easy. And that's why Python is really a very popular language, because it's easy to understand. It's also very intuitive, and it's really good. It's a beautiful programming language. Hi, hey, welcome back to Python all day, and we continue with our journey on talking about Python dictionaries. And remember, my job here is not only to teach, but to entertain. And we did talk about potatoes, and we can't understand why we cannot be able to eat potatoes, because potatoes are very beautiful, and we should be allowed to eat potatoes, because there's no reason whatsoever why we cannot eat potatoes anymore. We should really be allowed. We should be allowed to eat potatoes, because potatoes are beautiful, and there's no reason in the world why we should not be allowed to buy potatoes anymore, and why we should not be allowed to eat potatoes, because we should eat potatoes so we can be happy, and there's no reason why we cannot be happy by being allowed to eat potatoes. So we should eat potatoes. But in any case, we were talking about Python dictionaries. We saw how we can be able to add items to a dictionary. We also saw how we can be able to update items, in a dictionary. Next, I wanted to show you how we can remove items from a dictionary. And there are different ways that we can be able to remove items from a dictionary, and I am going to show you those various ways right now. Alrighty. The first method to remove an item from a dictionary is by using the pop, P-O-P, pop, the pop method. Using the pop method. We also saw the pop method in my previous video on lists, but now we are working with dictionaries, and we can also use the pop method when working with dictionaries to remove an item from a dictionary. Remember, an item in a dictionary is a key value pair. And to use the pop method, most important thing to understand about the pop method when we're working with a dictionary is that you provide the key within the pop method, and it returns the value associated, with that key. So it's a good practice when using the pop method to use a variable so you can be able to hold the returned value in that variable. Like for instance, if I wanted to remove the item married is assigned to false. If I wanted to remove this item from my dictionary here, which is called my dict, then what I'll do is that I'll just come here and I create a variable. I'll have this variable called married with lowercase, and I assign this to the value that is going to be returned by the pop method. So I write my dict, the name of my dictionary, my dict, and then I say dot pop, the pop method, dot pop, parentheses, and inside this parentheses is where I provide the key of the item that I want to remove. I provide the key of the item that I want to remove. In my case, I want to remove this item. Married is assigned to false. And so I come here, I provide the key married, like that, married. And now if I come here and I print my variable here, this variable here, if I come here and I print the variable married, like that, and I also print my dict, I print my dict here, like that. So if I print these two, this is going to print false because the pop method here returns, this here returns false because it returns the value associated with the key that I provided in the pop method. So this one is gonna be false, and I come here and I print married, it's gonna print false, and then it's gonna print the dictionary with this item removed or popped out, pop. So if I click on run, I have false, like that, and then I have my dictionary here with the item married is assigned to false being removed. And that's one way that you can be able to remove, that you can utilize to remove an item, from a dictionary. There is another way if you wanted to remove the last item from a dictionary. There is another method that you can use, and that method is called pop item method. So instead of using the pop, because I want to remove the last item, this is the last time. This method is specifically to remove the last item from a dictionary. I can say here, my dict.pop item, and I don't provide anything. And if I click on run, and the pop item does the same thing. It removes the last item from the dictionary and returns the value of that last item in a dictionary. So if I can use this variable again to hold the value that's returned, and if I click on run, I have the value is returned, the key and the value. So it returns married and false. This is the last item that has been popped out. And then it returns, if I print my dict now, the updated dictionary, then it has a name and an age, but it doesn't have the married. If I have another one here called occupation, if I had another key here, occupation, and I assign this to, maybe say, John is a teacher. Is a teacher. And now if I pop that, I will pop the last item again. I'll pop the last item. When you use the pop item, it removes the last item. It removes the last item from the dictionary and returns it returns that item. It returns both the key and the value. And you can see here, it returned a key and a value, occupation and teacher. The pop method that we saw before, we returned only the value, but we provided a key. The pop item removes the last item from the dictionary and returns the occupation. It returns the occupation and teacher, the key and the value in kind of like a tuple function. But that's how you can use the pop item to remove an item from a dictionary like that. Next, I'm gonna delete this and also delete this, and now we have our beautiful dictionary, but also with occupation. But so we can see how we can use the delete, the DEL, delete, del, short for delete, the delete keyword. The delete keyword will normally delete a key value pair by its key. And the way we use the delete method here, I can show you. We can say, for instance, we can come here and say del, just the same way we saw when we were working with lists, then my dict, and then in square brackets, you provide the key. Suppose we wanted to remove the married. We can come here and say delete married. We provide the key married. And now if we print my dict, it won't have this. It's going to print the dictionary, but without the married item like that. We have John, we have age, and we have occupation, but married has been deleted, has been removed from the dictionary. And that is how we can be able to again remove an item from a dictionary by using the del, short for delete, method to remove an item from a dictionary. Next, we are going to see how we can be able to use another method to remove an item from a dictionary, and this is called clear. How we can use clear, and what clear does is that it removes all the items in a dictionary. Clear removes all the items in a dictionary. For instance, I can say my dict dot clear, and if I click on run, I'm going to have an empty dictionary. The clear method removes all items from a dictionary. As you can see, when I used my dict dot clear, it removes everything from the dictionary, and I get an empty dictionary. Like that. So that's how you can be able to use the clear. You can be able to use the clear method to remove all items from the dictionary. Then I'm gonna take this out, and I'm gonna show you. We're gonna go to the next section, and we're going to talk about how we can be able to check whether a certain key is available or is in a dictionary. We want to check whether a key is in a dictionary. We wanted to see whether a key is in a dictionary. And you can check whether a key exists in a dictionary by using the in keyword or the not in keyword. Like for instance, we have our dictionary here called my dict. It has a key of a name, which we assigned to John. It also has a key of age, which we assigned to 25. It has a key of married, which we assigned to false. And it also has a key of occupation, which we assigned to teacher. Now, say if we wanted to check whether occupation is in my dictionary, my dict. So I'll just come here and say, and provide. I'll come here and provide I'll come here and say, I can say print, print, and what I want to print is I want to print occupation, patient, and then I say in my dict. And if I say this is a Boolean operation, I'm asking, is occupation in my dict? In that dictionary, is occupation, is the key, we provide the key, is the key occupation in my dict? Is the key occupation in my dict? This should print true. It's a Boolean operation which is going to evaluate to true, and so I said print that, it's going to print true. So if I click on run, it's going to print true like that. So I just checked whether occupation is in my dictionary. I say print occupation in my dictionary. This is a Boolean operation. That's why we have true printed out. And I can also say not in. If I use occupation not in my dict, what do you think this is going to print? I want to see whether occupation is not in my dictionary. It's going to print true if occupation is not in my dictionary, but because occupation is in my dictionary here, it's going to print false. So if I click on run, we should have this as false. Click on run and we have false. See? Because I'm saying occupation not in my dictionary, it's going to be false. If, for instance, I say print, let's say age, married, occupation, then I can just write student. We don't have a key for student in my dictionary here. So not in my dictionary, this is going to be true because student is not a key in my dictionary. So if I click on run, it has true. It has true. If I click on in, and I click on run, this is going to be false because student is not in my dictionary here. Is not a key in my dictionary. The key is name, the key is age, the key is married, the key is occupation, but we don't have a key with student. So that is going to print false because student is not a key in my dictionary. And that's how you can be able to check for key elements in a dictionary, to check whether a certain key is available or exists in a dictionary. Then I'm going to talk about dictionary. I'm going to talk about dictionary methods. I'm going to talk about dictionary methods right now. And dictionaries normally come with several built-in methods that can be useful for various operations. And for instance, there is the first method of a dictionary that I want to talk about is the keys method. And the keys method returns a view object containing the keys of the dictionary. It helps you to get, like you want to get all the keys in the dictionary. I can come here and say keys to get all the keys. I can have a variable called keys. It returns, so I have to provide a variable so I can be able to hold the returned items. And I can write here my dict, the name of the dictionary, my dict, and then I can say dot keys, the keys method. And if I click on run, I will have to print the keys. I can print keys here, print keys like that. And if I now click on run, I'm going to get all the dictionaries, keys. Remember, this returns a view object. This is a view object. It returns a view object containing the keys of the dictionary. It returns all the keys of the dictionary. And the keys of the dictionary are name, age, married, and occupation, like that. And that's how you can be able to use the keys method to get all the keys in the dictionary. If you want to get all the values, remember these are the values. John is a value, 25, false, and teacher. If you want to get all the values in a dictionary, then you can use the values method, and this returns a view object containing the values in the dictionary. So if I want to get values here, let's see here, we delete that and we say we want to get values now. Values. I can say my dicts dot values, and if I click on if I print values here now, print values, and I run this, then I have the values of the dictionary. We have John, we have 25, we have false, and we have teacher. And that's how you can be able to access. That's how you can be able to print or to access all the values. You can access all the values in the dictionary. And then in the same vein, I wanted to talk about how you can be able to access all the key value pairs, the John, the age, the married equals to false, and the occupation teacher. If you want to get all the items, that's an item, the key value pairs, that's an item, and this is an item, key value pairs. In the same vein, Python provides a method that you can utilize to get all the items. You can say here items, and I have to delete this so we don't see these red marks. So we can say items, and we can assign items to. We provide the name of the dictionary, and we use the dot items method. So we can come here and say my dict dot items, and if I now click print items here, what I will get is I'll get all the items here. I have a name, John, age 25. This is a view object here. It has all the items. It has all the items in my dictionary. It has name, John, age 25, married, false, occupation, teacher. So that's how you can be able to access all the items in the dictionary using the items method, which is provided by Python all day here. Hi, hey, welcome back to Python all day. We have been talking about dictionary methods, and we have seen the keys method. We have also seen the values method on how we can be able to get the values from a dictionary. We have also seen how we can be able to get the keys from a dictionary. And we have also been able to see how we can be able to get all the items from a dictionary. And now I want to talk about how we can be able to update a dictionary, in Python. And to update a dictionary, like for instance, if we wanted to change or to update the age of John to 30 to 35, maybe 37, if we wanted to change the age of John from 25 to 37, then we can use the update method. And what the update dictionary method does is that it updates the dictionary with key value pairs from another dictionary or from another iterable. Iterable is an object that you can iterate along. A dictionary is an iterable. A list is not iterable. And so iterable is an object in Python that you can be able to iterate through. So we wanted to change the age of John from 25 to 37 using the update method, and also say that we also wanted to give John a salary. We wanted to give John a salary so he can be able to buy potatoes if they allow him to buy potatoes, because we are no longer allowed to eat potatoes, but John should be able to eat potatoes so he can be happy. And so we wanted to give John a salary so he can be able to eat potatoes. He can be able to eat potatoes and be happy. So we want to update the age of John from 25 to 37 and also give him a salary of $150,000. We wanted to give him a salary of $150,000. And to do that, we come here and to update a dictionary in Python, we use the update method, and we can just come here and say my dict dot update. Remember, update is a method, so it has to have the opening and closing parentheses like that, and then inside this opening and closing parentheses we put the iterable with a key value pair. In our case, the iterable is going to be another Python dictionary with a key. We have the key here as age because we want to update the age, and the value. Remember, in dictionaries you separate the key and the value with a colon like that, and we update the age to 37. And the way we separate items in a Python dictionary is by using the comma like that. And then we also wanted to give John a salary so he can be able to buy potatoes, and he can eat potatoes when he buys them so he can be happy. And we are going to give him a salary, so we write here a salary like that. And the salary we are going to give John is going to be $150,000. It has to be thousand, $150,000 like that. We're going to give John a salary of $150,000 because he's a teacher, and teachers should be able to earn more money. So we're gonna give John $150,000. He's gonna use the $150,000 to buy potatoes so he can be able to eat potatoes if they allow him to eat potatoes, because we are not allowed to eat potatoes. We are not allowed to eat potatoes anymore. In any case, once you update here, if I come here and I print my date, you will see that now my date will now have the age updated, and will also have John with a salary. And if I click on run, now we have John, the age has been updated from 25 to 37, and John also now has a salary. He has a salary here of a salary of $150,000, and that is how we can be able to use the update method in Python dictionary to update the Python dictionary like that. So that's how we can update a dictionary. Maybe we should change the age from 37 to 26, maybe 26, like that. From 25 we go from 25 to 26. I don't know why we went all the way to 37. And we can change the salary here from $150,000. We can give him a raise because he's a good teacher. We can give him a raise and we can make this 175. And if I click on run here, John now has a salary of $175,000, and his age is 26, not the 37 that we had, because John is a young bachelor, is a young guy. So that's how we can be able to update. That's how we can be able to update a dictionary in Python, using the update method. Last, I wanted to show you how you can be able to loop through items in a dictionary, loop through the keys in a dictionary, and also loop through values in a dictionary. How you can loop through values in a dictionary. To do that, I'm going to take this out, and I am going to use a for loop to loop through the keys. I'm going to start with the keys. Remember, dictionaries are key value. So the keys are name, age, married, and occupation. Those are the keys in our dictionary here. And to loop through the keys in the dictionary, we can use the for loop, and we can say for key in my date, and then we use colons there at the end. Remember, that's how you can use a for loop. You use a colon, then you tab. Remember, tabs in Python are very important. They denote separation of logic, and they are truly very important. We don't have curly braces like in other programming language. We utilize a tab. And we can say for key in my date, we're gonna print the key and also print the value, like John. We're gonna print the name, then print John. We're gonna print the age, print 25. We're gonna print, so we're gonna say print, and we say print the key, and then we print the value. And the way to access the value is we can use my date and use the square brackets like that, and then we provide in the square bracket the key, whichever key we are on. That's how we can be able to access the value. If I click on run here, then you can see how beautiful it is. We have printed the key, the name, and the value John. Printed the key age, then the value 25. We have printed the key because we are looping through every item. We are looping through every key in our dictionary, and we are printing the key, and then we are also printing the value. And the way to access the value, we are using my date, then using the square brackets, and providing the key that is here. This doesn't have to be key. We can call this anything because this is just a name of a variable. We can actually call this potato, 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 and we can say here print potato, potato, and to access the potato, to access the potato, we have potato like that. We're still gonna have the same thing. The point here is that this is just a name of a variable. It can be any name, but just for clarity, maybe when people come and read your code, they should be able to understand what you are doing. And you cannot have a potato there and expect the people are gonna ask, where is the potato come from? So your variables in Python, they have to be intuitive. So when somebody comes and reads your code, they can try to understand what you are trying to do. And also in the future, when you come to read your own code, you can also be able to follow through. So that's why we have to use variable names that are intuitive, because now this is very intuitive and this is very intuitive. You can see that you are trying to access the key and you're also trying to print the key and the value associated with that key. This is more readable. When people come to read your code, they can clearly see what you were trying to do. And that's very important. In Python, you have to use descriptive, easily understandable and easily followed variable names. You know, when you use variable names, they have to be descriptive. They have to be clear to kind of like help other people who are reading your code try to understand what you were trying to do. And the same way we have been able to loop through the keys, we can also loop through the values. If we want to loop through the values are John, 25, false, and teacher. If we want to loop through the values, we also can use a for loop. We can say for value in, we can say value in my dict dot values like that, and we use a colon, and then we can say print value like that. And if we click on run, then we have the values John, 25, false, and teacher printed out. That's how we can be able to loop through the values in a dictionary by using the dot values with the dictionary name. Our dictionary name is my dict, so we used my dict dot values to get, and then we printed every value in our dictionary. Then you can also loop through the key value pairs. You can also loop through key value. You can loop through key value pairs. And the way you do that is you say for key, comma, value in my dict. That's the name of my dictionary, my dict, dot items. Use the items, dot items like that. And then you use your colons at the end. Then we say print. And then we're going to use an F string for formatting. So you should know about F string. I'm going to make a video later on about F strings, but it's a good way of formatting your text when you are printing. So we can save F string, and then with F string we normally use the curly braces for variables, and our key is a variable. So we say we print the key, and we can get out of that curly brace, and we can say key is assigned to, then we have a space there, and we can use another curly brace, and then we assign it to the value like that. And now if I click on run, we have, I should actually use another space here like that, And when I click on run, it's more readable. We have a name equals John, age equals 25, married equals false, occupation equals teacher, like that. And that's how you can be able to loop. You can be able to loop through the items in a dictionary using key value. Key value. Remember, these are just variable names. They don't have to be key value. You can use any name you want, but you have to provide the name of your dictionary, dot, items, like that, and then you can be able to loop through the keys and the values in your dictionary and print them out. That's how we do it. This is Python all day. I'm gonna stop there for the dictionaries, and I will see you next time. Be sure to subscribe. Remember, here what we do is we teach Python with a lot of fun, and we talk about everything Python. And we also today we talked about potatoes, because potatoes are beautiful, and we should be allowed to eat potatoes. Be sure to subscribe. See you guys next time, because we are happy here.